Welcome to How to Cook That. I'm Reardon, and this week I'm going to show you how you can make jelly beans at home. The first thing you'll need to do is to make a mould, and to do that I'm going to use Play-Doh to make little jelly bean shapes. You can make it whatever shape you want, but it doesn't come out super detailed, so keep it simple. Your finished jelly beans will also be bigger than your moulded shape, so if you want little jelly beans, then make these moulded shapes smaller. Use a hot glue gun to stick them to a ruler or a flat piece of wood, making sure you leave some space between each one. Now fill up a baking tray with corn flour, and we need this to be completely level and smooth on the top edge, so I'm filling it right to the top of the tin so that I can use the edge of the tin to smooth that out flat. Now take your jelly bean shapes that you made and push them into the corn flour to make an indent, and continue to do that all the way down the tray so that you have a whole sheet of jelly bean shaped indents. In a saucepan, mix together the sugar and the corn flour, and for the ingredient quantities that you need for this recipe, see this week's recipe post on the website howtocookthat.net, and there's a link in the description just below the video. Then add the glucose or the corn syrup and the water and stir until they are well combined. Place the pan over high heat and stir until the sugar is dissolved. Then remove it from the heat and wash down the sides of the pan using a wet pastry brush. And this just gets rid of any sugar crystals that might be on the sides, because they'll make the inside of our jelly beans crystallise later, and we don't want that. We want them to be nice and smooth and chewy. Return it to the heat and add a candy thermometer and heat it until it reaches 245 F or 118 C, and then use a spoon to pour the hot syrup into each indent. And you need to do this straight away because otherwise it's going to set in your pan. So just quickly get a spoon and pour it in. And this is why your corn flour needs to be completely flat, because if it's not flat, the syrup's going to run out of those indents. And now you need to leave those to cool for a few hours. Once they're cold, you can scoop it all out into a sieve and shake it to get rid of the corn flour. And this leaves us with the middle of the jelly beans. And you can eat them just like that if you want to. But if you want to make them colourful on the outside, then what we need to do is put some corn syrup into a bowl and add to that some colouring and some flavouring. I'm going to use a deep pink colour, which is almost a red colour, and some raspberry essence for these ones. Mix it together really well and then put 2 small spoons of that into the beans and mix them around and around until they are sticky and coated on all sides. Then transfer those jelly beans into a bowl of caster sugar, which is just fine sugar, and then stir that so that the sugar sticks to each one and coats it. Make sure that none of the beans are stuck together, just separate them because you want that sugar on all sides. To make the coloured layer thicker, then you can just repeat that same process. Add more of the flavoured mixture and then more of the sugar on top. Now you could serve them just like that, but if you want them smooth like real jelly beans, then you're going to need to tumble them. For that you could do it by hand, but you'd be standing there for an awful long time, so I'm using a kid's rock tumbler. Add in the jelly beans, and to stop them sticking together, I'm also going to grate up some cocoa butter and add that in as well. Now, real jelly beans, when they're making them, they either use an edible beeswax or a commercial additive like shellac, and that makes them shiny and it stops them sticking together. But I don't have those, so the cocoa butter is just going to stop them sticking. Then turn on the machine and let them tumble for about 2 hours. Turn them off and tip them out, and now you can see after a couple of hours of tumbling they are nice and smooth. They're not as shiny as the real ones. As I said, you'll need the commercial additives for that, but they are just as yummy. Subscribe to How to Cook That for all the latest videos. Click here to go to the channel and see more of my videos. Click here to go to last week's Fault in Our Stars cake, and here for the recipe website. Have a great week, and I'll see you on Friday.